Welcome to the Be a Better Parent podcast. I'm Celia Kibler, your host and founder of beabetterparent.com, the Day of Calm Foundation, and FunFit Family Fitness, and an award-winning author, mom of 5, grandma of 9, who has spent my entire life helping children thrive and helping parents build the empowered adults that we need in this world. You don't need to feel shame as a parent. You need to feel empowered and prepared. And that's exactly what this podcast is here to do. Every week, we'll dive into some simple, practical, powerful strategies to help you raise respectful, cooperative, fun-loving children, and do all of that without yelling. We'll also hear from some leading experts in a variety of fields that will support you and give your family the tools they need for everyday life, approaching all the stages and phases of your child's world. I'm so grateful you're here. Your commitment to being a better parent will truly change this world. So thank you for joining, and let's get started. This is Reset Your Stress, your 5-part roadmap to a calm, joyful, and connected holiday. So we're going to kind of do some introductory things. This is a 5-part series. The week of Thanksgiving, for those of you in the United States, we are not having a session. Instead, we will replay this episode because a lot of people had told me they can't come to this one for whatever reason. We're going to replay number 1. Okay. So first, let me tell you who I am for those of you that don't know. I am Celia Kibler. I'm an award-winning author, winning the Mom's Choice Award and the International Impact Book Awards for parenting. I'm a family empowerment coach and international speaker, mom of 5, grandma to 9, a real-life parent for over 43 years, and a parent of a successful blended family for over 30 years. I already said I'm an award-winning author. I am also a coach, a lifestyle weight management coach, a relationship coach. I'm certified in Gestalt therapy, NLP. I'm a nutritionist. And I'm the founder of Be a Better Parent, Day of Calm Foundation, and FunFit Family Fitness. And Be a Better Parent is the new rebranding for Pumped Up Parenting. Hi to Gabby.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, honey. This is what you need to know. I would like you all to please hold your questions until the end of the class. We will have plenty of time for Q&A. And if you guys got questions, I'll stay on with you, okay? Because I've already had coffee, so I should be able to stay awake a little bit. Please put your phones away. They only add to your stress. Decide to relax. Tea, wine, pajamas, whatever, snuggled in bed, whatever helps you relax, do it. Limit the distractions. If you haven't gone potty, run and go potty now so you can be present during this session. Cameras on if you can. Don't be shy. We're all here to support each other. And there is no judgment, no criticism, or ridicule. So this is a no judgment, criticism, ridicule zone. And when you look, see this little blue present with the hand? When you see that on a slide, it means somebody's going to win something. Is that my granddaughter? Stelly Belly? Hi, honey.
Hi.
What are you doing? Time out for my granddaughter. Sorry, pause the show.
Sorry.
It's Stella. That's all right. I have to say hi to Stella. Hi, baby girl. I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. All right, session 1 of 5. Calm first, stress less. Today, we're going to concentrate a lot on you being calm, on personal calmness, good health, and joy to live the true spirit of the holidays. Before the holidays take over, let's reset your stress so your home, your heart, and your daily life feel warm, calm, and connected again, whether you're parenting a family or simply caring for yourself. That is what our goal is today. We're going to really help you learn how to calm down, learn how to instantly change the way your brain is being triggered. A lot of good stuff that you will be able to put into place personally. And if you have a family, help them as well. So now I love it if you would all put in the comments and say what you're grateful for. Anybody want to say what they're grateful for or put it on? Duran, you're grateful for your sons and being alive. That's a good
Correct.
thing to be grateful for.
Yes.
I always say, Duran, every morning my eyes open, I am grateful
Yeah,
because people don't all open their eyes.
definitely.
Gabby, God, life, and family. Yep. In that order. And it should be. Anyone else have any gratitude they want to share? Jazzy, you want to share live? Go ahead.
I'm grateful for God, my kids, my husband, and family, and you know everyone else. That don't see the good in me. So, and you, because you're such a great person and a great entrepreneur,
Oh,
Miss
you're so
Celia.
sweet,
I wouldn't
Jazzy.
know what to do without you. Okay,
Oh, you're a
Gab,
doll. I love you.
Gabby, I love your mom. She's amazing.
Gabby agrees, right? Shake
I
your
do.
head.
Sorry, my fingers are messing with it, but I do agree. Absolutely, she's
And
the
I'm her
best.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, she's the best quirky mother-in-law ever. Um,
Yes, I love her. I first met her on the Peanut App Moms group, and I'm in so many of her sessions. And when I tell you, she has put a great impact on my life.
All right, so before we move off this slide, I want to tell you guys what makes gratitude so great. We often want to make sure that our children are appreciative of things, especially around this time. They all get gifts. What are they, are they going to be grateful? Are they going to be appreciative? Do they even know what they're getting? Or are they just opening things? Hi, Chrissy. Create
Hi.
a daily practice of gratitude. Every day, make sure your children are saying what you're grateful for. Because once you do that every day, and once your children know that every day they have to tell you something they're grateful for, all of a sudden they start looking for things that they're grateful for. And once your brain starts looking for things to be grateful for, it's made a shift of appreciation. So, if you would, we're going to do another interactive thing. What stresses you out about the holidays? And you can look on here. Is it cash? Is it family? Is it travel? Is it time? Like, could be anything. Could be sleep, lack of sleep, your job. Could be the fact that you have to work a lot during the holidays or you don't have a job. What stresses you out about the holidays? Money and family strain from the year. Prissy, I will tell you, money is the number one stressor for holidays, which is why
yeah,
this is free because we don't need any more stress. Gabby, what were you going to say?
no, I agree with Chrissy. I think money is the biggest issue around the holidays, especially having kids these days, and they have to have the best of everything. Like they have to have this and this and this and this and
They don't
this.
have to.
They don't have to, but it's like a pleasing era these days. It's like a fear of missing out almost. Like Stella
Yeah,
wants a Labubu, and I'm like, those things are scary.
yeah. Well, and one thing you want to remember is, and we'll add in these comments throughout, is if you, and I'm not saying you do this, Gabby, but a lot of people do. If you are always trying to make your child happy, if you are always everything they want when they want it, and my child must be happy, must be happy, must be happy, you are going to raise a very unhappy adult. So I want you to remember that our children need to exercise their disappointment muscle and their waiting muscle. Those are, I have a kids fitness company, the two most important muscles, disappointment and waiting. because if they think they get what they want when they want it, they're going to grow up entitled, and they're going to constantly be having tantrums because they won't know how to handle disappointment or waiting to get something. With this world with screens, it is a very short attention span theater. There's a lot of instant gratification and not enough delayed gratification. If they are always made happy, nothing will ever measure up. Exactly. So, cash is a big thing. It is the biggest thing. When you ask a large population of people, cash is the biggest thing. Having enough money. Your kids wanting something, kind of in relation to what you said, Gabby. Your children wanting something that you can't afford. Often kids want like video game consoles. They're very expensive and you may not be able to afford it. Or you're comparing to someone else and, well, this one got it. I can't get it. Don't compare. Compare-itis is a horrible disease. Stop comparing. Do what you can afford. You don't want to put yourself in massive debt after the holidays. That will be even worse. A calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence. Who said that? Of course, the great Dalai Lama.
So when I had the boys, it was actually cleanup because everyone would always come to our home for dinner. So I had to, clean up after all the festivities. And you know what it is now, having, to go through a holiday without having my boys right now.
I know. Duran, can I just explain briefly?
Sure, yeah.
Duran had his twin boys taken away unjustly, and he's in like the fight of his life trying to get them back. So he worked very hard to get his boys back. So right now he is without his boys for the holiday, which is very, very sad. Yeah, a lot of cleaning up. And don't forget, you made more humans. It's a good thing. You made helpers. Put them to work. They should all be cleaning up. It should not lay all on one person's shoulders. My other grandsons had an aunt, and she used to buy them literally a pile of presents, like 20 presents each. And all they do when there are that many presents is rip them open. They don't know what they're getting. They have no appreciation. It's just rip them open, and they will never remember what they got. And it is
end up playing with the wrapping paper more than the toys.
exactly. I know. A good box will last a lifetime. Don't spend all this money on gifts because what they're packaged in is much more fun.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so guys, before we get rolling, I want you all to calm down, have a little inner peace. And so I want everybody on here now to inhale and exhale. So we're going to inhale through our nose. I'll try to be loud. I don't know if you can hear me inhale. And we're going to inhale peace and exhale pressure. So take your hand and push the pressure away as you exhale. Inhale peace. Exhale pressure. Inhale peace through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Hold it. Exhale from your mouth. And if you need to do more, go ahead and do more. What can we teach our children? Because breath, like when you teach a little kid, breathe, that's like breathe. What does that even mean? I do breathe. My brain breathes. So if they hold up a finger and smell the flower, and then they blow out the candles, and to get them to even blow longer, so their exhale is longer, you can have them put one finger up for the flower, smell the flower, and hold all four fingers up for the candles, blow out all the candles. And they will blow longer than just having one finger. Smell the flower, blow out the candles. And it's a great way to teach them how to breathe and relax if they're getting upset or angry. Okay, let's talk about 3 calming resets that work in 90 seconds or less. Here's 3 gifts. Each gift is going to have a reset. Okay, why 90 seconds? This is important to know. Your amygdala, I like to refer to it as a smoke detector. So when fire starts, the amygdala gets all excited and starts releasing all these stress chemicals. And it will keep your anger level. You know how all of a sudden you feel tense and you feel tenser and tenser and tenser? Thank your amygdala. That's what it's doing. It's dumping more and more stress chemicals. However, the important thing to know is that it can reset in 90 seconds. So that's why I'm going to give you 3 90-second resets. Anytime you're able to pause for 90 seconds, you will reset your amygdala and it will stop dumping stress chemicals and it will stop the reaction of anger and rage. Here's the first one. The 90-second Peppa Pause Plus. I gave it a little plus because it's not just a pause. Peppa is an acronym I made up, and it is perfectly relatable in many situations, not even just calming. Even if your kids are taking the spelling test and they're all upset, remind them of Peppa. Pause, evaluate, plan, and act. So just remembering the word Peppa pauses your brain. You have now stopped that amygdala from promoting more and more stress and dumping more and more chemicals. That pause, boom, will stop it and reset it. But there's more to Peppa. Now I want you to evaluate what's really going on. Take a step back. Your kids are fighting, or something's going on, or they're crying, or they're upset about something. Instead of just getting involved and getting mad or getting upset, or say somebody cut you off or something happened in the grocery store and you're starting to really get upset, pause, reset, evaluate what's really going on. Maybe somebody's having a problem. Maybe this person that seemed a little rude to you is having a bad day in the store. Maybe your children are not really arguing, but they're arguing because they're sick of each other. And you need to just separate them. They've been together too long. There's not really a real reason. Once you evaluate, set a plan. What are you going to do so that your response is productive and constructive? And then do it. Act on it. Peppa, pause, evaluate, plan, act, can be plugged into any kind of a scenario. Teach your kids. Remember, it's yourself. Practice Peppa. And as soon as you think of the word Peppa, you're starting to reset that amygdala and reset your brain. Okay. Something else you can do. Name it and claim it. So basically start labeling what's going on. And you will drop that amygdala release of chemicals instantly. I feel angry. I feel scared. I feel overwhelmed. I am worried. I am stressed out. I am anxious. And then replace it. I choose calm now. Whatever you're telling yourself, label it. What is going on that I'm doing this? Well, I'm angry. I'm angry at my kids. But you know what? I'm going to choose calm right now. What is going on? I don't know. I'm walking down this street. It's getting dark. I'm getting scared. I have to set up for the holidays. I am overwhelmed. Let me calm down. Go outside. Relax. Soon as you do this, you turn that amygdala around. So remember that 90-second reset. So this is number 2. Number 3 is a positivity shift, and this includes your homework. Positivity shift is what went right today. You know, we spend so much time at the end of the day thinking about what we didn't do, or what we should have done and we didn't, or we didn't call this person, or we didn't call this doctor, We didn't do something that we promised to do with the kids. Instead of focusing on what we didn't do, I want you to start focusing on what you did do. What went right today? What a great conversation around the dinner table with your kids. So, guys, what went right today? What worked for you? Where did you have your wins? And go around the dinner table and talk about it. Because once you start recognizing your accomplishments and not focusing on what's not happening, that's where shift happens. When we're always focusing on what's not getting done, we feel defeated. We're like, I didn't get anything done today. I wasted an entire day. You never waste an entire day. You've always done so. If you got out of bed, you did something right. If you got your kids to school, you did something right. If you took a shower, you did something right. So your homework is to write down every night 3 or more things that went right for you each day. And you will start feeling much better about your day. Okay, so let's relate that to our children. What did they do right? You know, I when I work one-on-one with my clients, the first thing we do is we talk about our wins. What went well this past week? And I'll have parents say, tell you they drove me crazy. I can't think of anything. I'm like, you can't think of anything they did right. And they're like, no. I can't tell you how many times I've had this conversation. And I said, did they wake up? Yes. Did they get dressed? Yes. Did they go potty or did they pee in their pants? They went potty. Did they eat breakfast? Yes. Did they get to school on time? Yes. You just named 5 things your child did right. 5 things, and you couldn't think of one. Start reflecting on what they are doing and stop spending all your time focusing on what they're not doing. What you focus on grows. And your kids always do a lot more good than not so good. And when you notice they've done something great or they've made a good choice, be sure to let them know you noticed. Don't just notice it. Tell them you noticed and be specific. Don't just say good job. Say great job helping your brother clean up the books, whatever it is, so they know the behavior that they did to improve the situation. Now we're going to work on ending this holiday stress. I want you to start recognizing your self-talk. What do you tend to believe about yourself? Because there's something very funny about our brain. Our brain is in 2 halves, basically. The conscious half, and this is not the parts of the brain. This is like the operational parts of the brain. It has a subconscious brain, which is the part of the brain we don't control. We don't control that our heart beats. We don't control that blood flows. We don't control that, when we're thinking of eating, that all of a sudden we get hungry when we're around food. It just happens. We have the conscious part of our brain that we do control. That tells us, okay, we're going to go be rude to someone, and we're like, maybe not my best choice, and you stop it. That is under your control. Your self-talk, what you say to yourself, whatever it is, your subconscious brain will prove true. So if you say, how can I be such an idiot? It's going to prove that you are an idiot. If you say, wow, I am really pretty creative, it's going to also work on proving you're creative. So self-talk matters. And in this list, I kind of made a list of things people say. Yes, self-fulfilling prophecy, absolutely. I kind of made a list of what a lot of people say. And if you identify with anything, you can put it in the comments or you can unmute. I can't do anything right. I have to do everything or nothing gets done. Everyone else has it together but me. I'm such a mess. If I mess up, they'll be mad at me again. The mysterious they people, I don't know who they are. I always ruin things. I'm a bad parent because I can't buy them what they want. There's no way out of this. Do any of you relate to any statement on this list?
I feel like me right now, I can't do anything right because nothing has changed.
We're going to examine that. Oh, look, a little gift. There's going to be a gift. So if you go on live with me, you know, like Jerron is, you're going to be in the running for a gift. So, Jerron, can you say that again? What you just said to me?
I said I feel like I can't do anything right because nothing has changed as of yet.
Answer me this question. Is that true?
No,
It's not true.
no,
Tell me why it's not true.
because I'm working hard every day to get my boys back, and
And is that a good choice, a correct, right choice, or a wrong choice?
yeah, it's the correct choice.
So you are doing something right.
Yes,
What else have you done right today?
worked, said my prayers, pray, try my best to be as positive as I could.
So that statement, I can't do anything right, is not true. You do a lot right. Not everything works out in the way you want it to work out, but you do a lot right. True?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else want to be on the hot seat other than Jerron?
I can. Uh,
Okay,
I,
Chrissy, hit it. How
the
do you
one that
feel?
the one that kind of got me was like everyone has it together but me, because like that has been like a running theme in my family recently, because there's just been a lot of family drama and a lot of like just stuff going on, so it just kind of makes me compare myself. But then I, look at finances and look at everything I'm doing with KK and with my sister, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not really true. I think that I have it together. I've worked to have things together a lot more than what I think. And it's like I have to fight with myself to give myself the credit to not believe that when I hear it. So,
Because it's simply not true. And you don't know what other people are living through. In your family, you may, but people, you see people, like especially on social media, they look like they're perfect. That is not true. That is a cover. We have no idea what's going on in other people's lives. So to compare yourself to someone else that could be just a total mess, it is simply not true. And you have to ask yourself when you say these negative comments, is it true? And even if you say, oh, I do everything wrong, and you say, is it true? And even if you said to me, well, yeah, I do everything wrong, I'm going to ask you again, is that true? Because it's not. You can't possibly do everything wrong. Jazzy, you want to try?
Um,
What do you usually, what of that list, or maybe something different, do you wind up telling yourself?
what you said is not true, and I can focus and do the right thing. But say, hey, Carla, it's hard trying to doing the right stuff when you always have kids that needy and this and this and this, and
So
and I'm
what's the
like,
negative statement that you're saying, that you don't do anything right, or you're not doing you're not doing enough? What
no,
is it you
I
tell
feel like I'm
yourself?
not doing enough, or I'm overwhelming and stressing myself out, and I shouldn't be doing that.
Well, so part of that is you feel like you're not enough, not just not doing enough, but you're not enough for your kids. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Is that true?
no, that's not true.
No, it's not true.
No, it's
You're a
not true.
lot. You're a whole human, and you do a lot for your children. You may not do enough for yourself, and maybe you have to start doing enough for yourself, but you being enough, absolutely. So
Yeah,
when you guys think of these things, or somebody says something negative to you or about you, like you say, oh my gosh, you are so dumb, like kids get in school. Well, is that true? Are you dumb? No, of course you're not dumb. And that's part of not taking things personally. Gabby, you want to try?
I can. She just fell asleep.
Oh, good. So what do you tell yourself?
So I think it was the second one.
I can go back. Whoops. I have to do everything or nothing gets done. Is that it?
Yeah, I get very overwhelmed. I have a lot of uh OCD, I guess. So house has to be clean, you know. I don't want to say my way or the highway, but I definitely feel that way a lot. Because messy house, it doesn't sit well with me. And it puts me in a bad mood.
Okay, but is I have to do everything or nothing gets done. Is that true?
No,
Tell me why it's not true.
I don't know.
I have to
I
do
don't like this
everything
hot
or
seat.
nothing gets done. Do the other two people in your family do absolutely nothing?
No,
No,
no, they do things.
of course they do. So it is not true that if you don't do it, nothing gets done,
Yeah,
right? You may do things that particularly you focus on, or you may do something like maybe Stella cleans up a little section of a room and you want to put some other things away and you go back and put the other things away.
yeah,
Or maybe Ross does something that's not to your liking, but he's still doing it.
yeah.
So you having to do everything is not true. And you have two other humans in the house that get to help you. You just have to
That's true.
also welcome their help.
I will try.
Does that make sense?
It
You want to
does.
definitely get Stella helping. She's plenty old
Yeah,
enough to be helping.
Stella's been helping out a little bit more.
Good.
She's been helping putting her laundry away.
Good.
That's been nice.
See? So
Yeah.
now you don't have to do that because it gets done because Stella does it.
Yeah.
Not true. Okay, so we're not going to tell ourselves that anymore. All right, guys? So when you think of things, when you like call yourself dumb or you say, oh, I don't do anything right, or I do everything wrong, or why is everyone else in such a great shape and I'm not? None of that is true. None of it. And so remember these 3 words. When you think something negative, simply ask yourself, is that true? When your kids think something negative about themselves, say to them, is it true? They may say yes. And you'll say, well, think about it. Is it really true? And they'll think more and they may say yes. Ask them again. Okay, I hear you. But is that actually true that you do nothing right? They will eventually say, no, it's not true because everybody does more right than not right. So creating a calm mindset is about resetting what you're telling yourself, changing your attitude, giving yourself grace. Remember, we all make mistakes. We're all human. So instead of saying, oh, I can't handle anything, you can say, this is hard, but I've handled harder things before. Let me take a deep breath before I get so angry or so upset. Let me calm myself down. Let me do a 90-second reset. I don't have to be perfect as long as I'm making progress. Perfection is an impossible goal. No one is perfect. I've said it before. I even believe God is not perfect. And if God's not perfect, certainly we're made in his image. How can we be perfect? I will not refuse to believe that God doesn't look down on this earth and think, oh, well, this might not have been my best choice. This group of people over here, I'm not so sure about them. I mean, I can't imagine he doesn't look back and go, free will. Was that a great idea? I mean, it was a great idea, but there are probably times he thinks, thought this would work. It didn't. No one is perfect. And you always deserve a break. So take one. And you know what's beneficial about breaks is your brain functions better after a break. Think about if you're like looking at a book and you like read the same page over and over again. You're like, oh my God, I've read this page 25 times. You walk out, you go outside, you have some tea or you have a snack, you come back and you're like, boom, through that page and onto it because your brain got reset. Okay, so start turning your language that you say to yourself around so that you can actually realize that you are not this terrible person you keep stating you are. You wouldn't even tell your friends what you tell yourself. So start turning those things around, okay? Everybody, please tell me what the opposite of success is. You can write it in the comments. Opposite of success. Some of you know. Not trying. Giving up. Giving up is the opposite of success. Failure, not the opposite. Mistakes, not the opposite. There is no success without failure and mistakes. So if you're being hard on yourself because, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to wrap this. I didn't mean to do this. You are human. You have not failed. You have not, is that what I said? I don't know. Is that how I wanted to come out? You are a human being. Humans make mistakes. Humans fail. It doesn't mean success is not on the other side of it because it absolutely is. There is no person on the planet that is successful that has not made mistakes and has not failed. When your children make mistakes or fail and they get so upset and possibly you're reacting to it, understand that that's an opportunity to learn. Who said that? Chrissy, did you say the learning? Somebody said learning. I think Chrissy. That is an right. You don't lose, you learn. Mistakes are necessary. They're the speed bumps of life. Failure is necessary so that we can review what happened and we learn from it. Your child has a spelling test. They studied really hard and they got a C. And they're crying. Mommy, I wanted more than a C. Well, you can give them a little hug and say, I'm sorry you're sad, but you know what, honey? You can get a B or an A next time. You know why? Because let's look at how you studied. I know you worked really hard and you deserve to be successful at whatever you're trying to do. So let's look at how you studied and let's think about how we can do different the next time you have a test. Maybe I can review your words with you. Maybe you can write the words and put them in a box and we can pick them out and you can try to spell them so that they're out of order from your list. That is your opportunity to rethink, replan, redo. Redos are always allowed. And that's how we learn. Thomas Edison took 1,000 ways to create a light bulb. And somebody said to him, how did you feel failing 1,000 times and making a light bulb? He said, I didn't fail. I discovered 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. We have some incredible things from mistakes. Play-Doh, mistake. Post-it notes, billion-dollar industry, mistake. Chocolate chip cookies, mistake. The biggest selling cookie on the planet, a mistake. The woman that created it meant for the chocolate to melt. It did not, and the chocolate chip cookie was born. There are so many great examples of successes from mistakes or failures. That is just a few. It's always a benefit. You can even have a conversation. Okay, who screwed up today? Who I did. Who messed up? What'd you learn? Quote time again. One of the best ways to reduce stress is to accept the things that you cannot control. MP Neary, and I have no idea what MP stands for. Okay, so let's work on lifting your burdens because this is what often brings us down. This is what often causes us to really get down and depressed and stressed, and often causes us to not even be able to do the things we want to do because we just have these burdens. And the important thing to remember in life, guys, and I always will frequently when I'm teaching a group of college students or high school students, I'll say, what's the secret to life? The secret to life is knowing that you're in control of you and nothing else. What's in your control? The way you react or respond to something, your attitude, and what you say to yourself, as we just reviewed, your energy, your effort, your choices, you accepting personal responsibility for things that you did, your intentions and your integrity, doing what you say you're going to do, aligning your actions with your values. That's in your control. All of those things, nothing else. And when you control the way you react or respond to something, whatever the thing is that you're responding to, it's up to you. That's what you control. When Chris Rock got hit by Will Smith, he responded calmly. He chose calm over smacking him back. He was like, well, we'll make light of this and the show will go on. And everybody focused on Will Smith making a fool of himself and raging. And nobody really talked about the important part, which is the way Chris Rock responded. He chose to control his response. You know darn well he had no idea that that was going to happen. That was not staged. So what's out of your control? Everything else. So if you are worrying about something that you have no control over, let it go. Let it go, because you can't do anything about it. If you're like, oh, what's the weather going to be tomorrow? I have to go here. I have to go there. I have so much to do. What if it snows? And you're getting all anxious about, oh, if it snows, because I have so much to do, for those of you that live around snow. You're worrying about something you have no control over. You are stressing over something that you have no control over. So if you can't go get what you needed to get because it's snowing and you can't get through it for whatever reason, you will have to find a way to respond to that calmly and figure out, well, if I can't get it, I'll get it tomorrow. If I need it for tomorrow, well, maybe I make something instead. I'm here. Maybe I have another gift I can give, or another thing I can do, or another recipe I can fix. If you constantly worry about things you can't control, you will go on carrying a weight that you never get rid of. You have to really ask yourself, is this within my control? And if the answer is no, release it. Let it go. We worry about so many things that are out of our control. We spend our time worrying about, what if our kids do this? What if our kids do that? When they're teenagers, their teenage brain, guys, is wired for risk. We all do stupid stuff when we're teenagers because we're wired, literally wired that way. And you worry, well, what if while they're out with their friends, they do this? Maybe I shouldn't let them go out with their friends. So you're going to keep them by your side the whole time and make your child neurotic and crazy and fearful of the world outside. You cannot constantly worry about things that are out of your control. I mean, you can if you want, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to lead a miserable life. You will be fearful. You will be worried. You will carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you will be irritable and grouchy and not a very pleasant person to be around. Stop worrying about what you can't control. Focus on what you can. I've successfully parented a blended family for over 30 years now. Why has it been successful? Because I only concerned myself with what I controlled. When my stepkids were at their mother's house, who was not such a great human being, or she still is the same person, I could have sat there worried about what was going on over there. What do I have? I have no say over what goes on over there. The only thing I can offer my children is what goes on right here in my house. The example I set, the respect I give, the conversation I encourage. That is all I can concern myself with. When they go home to their mother's house, or my children go home to their father's house, and they're all in their 30s and 40s, so then, they're fine now. But even your grandchildren, not your grandchildren, my grandchildren, or if you have grandchildren, you have to give them the qualities, the values in your home so that when they go anywhere, they take those values with them. Talk to them, teach them, have those difficult conversations. If you don't, someone will, and their name is probably Google. And do you really want Google's values being taught to your children? No. Don't even worry about it, but take action on what you have control over, not what you don't. Okay, so let's go to the next. This is a quote that I share once in a while. I love it. It is written by Marianne Williamson in one of her books, and I can't remember what the book is. But I want you to listen to this because I'm going to read it to you. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened, and many people do this, about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. I'm going to read that line again. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do that. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So, in other words, what you do when you step up to the plate, you encourage someone else to do the same. And for those of you that think, well, I don't want to make everybody feel bad by whatever, show them that bravery, show them that strength, and you'll be handing them the strength and bravery too. Anybody have any comments about this or what this means to you? And I know it talks about God, and for those of you that don't believe in God, if you don't believe in God, it's, it's still a great quote. Jerron?
I do. Like, I grew up when everybody was like, be humble, and I feel like I don't really like that word, because I feel like when God blesses you and gives you something, like, you're supposed to share it with the world. I'm not saying, be a show off or something like that, but you should be proud of, whatever it is that you can do and help others. You know what I mean? So I think some people who don't want to put their best foot forward use that word a lot because they're scared to achieve their dreams. So they kind of want to dull your light. And I feel like that's not a good thing. So that resonates.
Absolutely. And you're right, Jerron. It's not about bragging or saying, "Oh, I'm so great. I'm so great." It's about recognizing your strengths,
Right.
recognizing your qualities and utilizing them. We all have strengths. We all have special gifts. Use them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Woohoo! You made it. It's question and answer time. I want to know what your aha moment, and if you see this gift down here in the corner, somebody else is going to win a gift. So, who has a question? Who wants to tell me what your aha moment was? Where did the light bulb go off? What did you think, oh, This will help me, with my stress levels. And maybe some of you will help Lisa a little because Lisa kind of missed the beginning. So maybe there's something in the beginning that, really struck home to you. Anybody want to ask a question or tell what they gained from this conversation, this presentation?
My aha moment is I was about to say something about the code earlier, but I wasn't able to raise my hand on time. So it's just like sometimes we forget to appreciate ourselves. We do a lot of things at home, we do a lot of things for other people, but we don't give recognition to ourselves.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, like for the questions earlier in the previous slides, like if I don't do things at home, nothing's gonna be accomplished or something like that. But yeah, it's just sometimes I just forget to appreciate myself for raising my kids, teaching them to do things. Sometimes I still feel like I'm not enough because I'm still stressed, I'm still overwhelmed. It feels
Is
like
that true?
yeah, it is not definitely because
It is not, or it is definitely?
it is not true.
It is not true.
Definitely not
Right.
definitely true. Yes. Yeah, so when I read the code earlier, it's just like, yeah, right. Sometimes you just forget yourself. You're
Yeah.
doing a lot of things for other people and you don't see your worth. So sometimes we have to learn that, for us to shine as well, we need to recognize ourselves and tap our back, you did a great job. We also need to commend ourselves and more like self-love, I guess,
Yep.
self-care.
You have to love
Yeah.
yourself, right? You have to care for
Mm.
and when they say you can't pour from an empty cup, that's absolutely true. You can't be the best for other people if you're not feeling your best. If you feel worn and tired and like you haven't had a break and the world every day's falling apart, how can you possibly give good spirit and positivity to the people you're with? You can't
Yeah.
care for them in the way you want to care for them in that situation. You have to take breaks. You have to give yourself grace. You have to go out and do something you love. You deserve it, and you're worthy of it. You're always worthy of it. Too many times we don't think we are worthy. Gabby, did you want, or you just had a heart up?
No, I agree with Czar. I think that was my aha moment too. That was a really good piece on your slideshow. I really appreciate it.
My
I
pleasure.
think being a mom, we all get overwhelmed with the responsibilities of being a mother. Being the I don't want to. I have a job, but I'm not like what do they call them? The home
Stay-at-home mom.
people. Yeah, like I
But you
work
work
from
at home
home.
like Czar does.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I work 40 plus hours a week,
Right.
so it's just a lot. And I'm also on Central Time and Eastern Time,
Yeah.
so my
Yeah, the
hours are
time
a little
zones are
crazy.
super fun. Okay, so now I want to pause you guys and I want you each to tell something wonderful, even though you deal with stress, because I'm going to speak for Jerron because he would love to be stressed out with his kids right now. So there is always a viewpoint of everyone's situation that you're going through. Always remember there's someone out there having a harder time. I'll tell you a little story real quick. So I have scoliosis, curvature of the spine. And from 8th grade to 12th grade, I wore a full body brace. And luckily in 12th grade, I wore 22 out of 24 hours a day until 12th grade when I only wore it at night. So, I was like the handicapped kid in school when you could see it out of my shirt. And it went all the way down to my hips. And I will tell you, I learned from that experience that no matter what I'm going through, I actually never complained, although I learned later in life I had the right to complain. but I felt like I didn't because my appointments were in Children's Hospital of Baltimore, and they were right next to the terminal ward. And there were kids that had no legs. I remember this little boy would sit in his wheelchair. He had no legs, and he would just roll by the windows of the outpatient clinic and go, "Don't look at me. I'm not a freak. Don't look at me. I'm not a freak." And that's all he would say. And then there was this little girl who had this rare skin disease. Her skin was literally like falling off her body. It was just deteriorating. And this child, she couldn't sit up. She laid on her bed all the time. And she would just laugh all the time. She would find everything funny, and literally in a year, she was gone. And everything was funny to her. And I used to think, how can I complain? How can I complain? I can take this brace off of me. And you would not know, looking at me today, I have the same 3 curves in my spine. You cannot tell I have 3 curves in my spine, and you couldn't tell then that I had 3 curves in my spine. I can tell. I can tell my shoulders sit crooked, my hips sit crooked. But nobody looking at me can tell that I'm crooked. And if you saw my spine, it looks literally like a snake. But how could I complain when this brace I wore, I could unscrew, unstrap, and take off. And these kids could never take off what's going on with them. And I grew up thinking, whatever's going on with me, somebody in the world has a much tougher time of it. And that doesn't mean you don't have the right to complain. That I learned later in life. You do have a right to your emotions. You do have a right to your feelings. You do have a right to feel badly about a situation. But when you want to come out of it, remember that you're strong. And you have certain things that other people would love to have. Those kids that we support through the Day of Calm Foundation in Uganda were trying to build their school. He just sent me pictures today, and they're the kids cooking in their kitchen. You know what their kitchen is? It's a wood shelf with wood like slats above it, wood slatted walls with air coming out, a big metal bowl on a fire. They're making porridge. And the kids are stirring, like, talk about fire hazard and burning risk, like all over the place. That's why we're trying to build them a school. But that is their kitchen. You've got to feel fortunate, and you have to give yourself grace when you're not feeling great, because overall, there are some true blessings every day in your life. Anyone, last chance for Joran, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Stop stressing. Love me, and it's okay not to achieve everything in that one day. There's always tomorrow. So just be grateful for, the present.
Because it really is a present.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to do your homework. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Be a Better Parent podcast. I'm truly grateful for your time, your heart, and your commitment to becoming a better parent. Remember, you don't have to feel shame as a parent. You deserve to feel empowered and prepared for whatever challenges come your way, and that's what I'm here to help you with. If today's episode really helped and supported you, please feel free to share it with another friend or family member, another parent who also needs the help and encouragement today. And be sure to visit beabetterparent.com to explore all of the parenting services, our new app, our new community, and the resources that give you the ability to stay calm, stay connected, and stay happy and create that family harmony you're really looking for through all the stages and phases of parenting. You're doing an incredible job. Keep going. Keep being the best parent you can be. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.